Mike McLean Kofi and actress our story ediaba na what you say Daily Graphic Democrat afato no ho so e di emfie du esinani so a watimi assess Auditor General's report ahodo efa mensi na fekropon assemblies ahodo ni nyina ho wo hwe kwan ya wo fa so mu sika se montoto no a enam so ama ekabubro 242.84 million Ghana cedis a eguso a ekosoro na bribia mensi ena fekropon assembly no wo mo edwiri ede egu hono na wo chese ufa mensi na fekropon assembly makomako aduosiansia 66 ye fa womo ese womo efa nipa 366 se womo nyege to womo ankasa womo akache emfie be miensa etwam eni a na chese yetua womo 7.82 million cedis se aketua for sa emfie miensa no ena womo susu timi jeje eto 3.99 million na chese kaba enipa 366 yese monko assembly no ni kropo assembly no wo mo akachia na monko jeje eto mo bosumi bia na efie miensa na yetua amoka 7.82 million
bosumi bia emfisia du no
emfisia miensa no
miensa wa
ena emfisia miensa no so no sika amutimi jeje yese revenue e wa assembly hono 3.99 I say equilibrium no mfa
the equilibrium price
assembly no boka
and quantity no there will be disequilibrium
assembly no eboka it was assembly bit say Brim North asene manso across Brim South achimansa kwa ibibrim fantia kwa south fantia kwa north kwa east kwa Afram Plains north suhum ayensuano nsoma do agiri Lower Menya Equiapem North Aguna West and Equiapem South afei wana ka ho bie Sunafo South Efija kwa Sunafo South Efija kwa Bere North Ahafoano South East Atwumanwa Bieja North Ejura Sechedumase Mampon Offenso North Otafo Brekum Doma Central Brekum West ena Doma West afe Aguna West Ebuakwa South Upper Denchira East Ishiaeso Submetro Kumase Metropolitan Subin Submetro Atwima kwa ngoma kwa adaso adanse asokwa Sechere Central Bodi Dwaboso Sehwioso Amenfi West Garu Gushegu Pandai Cherepone wahu ena afi so uhwa assembly no womo impuntunyuma wose ekoho no mo no eno so no wutum se bi wo ho no mo a womo amanage ni yie pa ena wutum se internal mechanisms as we put in place to make sure say there is control na weak what I say afen so panyibi ne atu ne se bi a wo hwe hanum se so assembly engineer wo hwe ha so a asa omu tumi a omu de eye adwuma no wo fom edu omu ntimi nya adwuma no se ne wo se wo mo eye no edi se bi afri 2014 eba besi 2023 misappropriation of funds obu hono ma wonya adwuma so no wo gisika almost stores ne ade ne megu hono na wo mo epe no wo mo sesa procurement nsheda nkoyi contract nsem basa payroll ne taxes ni nyina o mato ne say basa wo mu se Auditor General no etu ana mo ahodo bia obetimi any other institutions yes wo behwe na sasika semu basa ekoso no wo matimi edu wo na esifom ho na so ho ni nyina wo ya na chese apaska it just control mechanisms and afin supervisory roles are was say individuals be edo matuatua offices bia no assembly ho no mo ehwe ye no na saa tumi no wo form ahoden no wo form enti na chese we na do so pa and Ghanaian Daily Graphic the bokratai or the honsem
yo James Medas na wa hwede aka ne mu na masre obre kakra akwa oman so akodi nkomo ya basisi a 2 minutes after 8 Ade Akye Abia live on OK 101.7 FM Sunie on the line a lawyer Ralph in Japan private legal practitioner once upon a time or contested senko be lead MPP amanyuko na ko 2024 election ni mu as parliamentary candidate but enko wie se de na ne da yeso ne ni so ade hunu tie lawyer machi no pay hello lawyer lawyer Ralph and ye pen wa manoso we so your private legal practice na to nchen ya me kan say de be ya obi be hu se wo ye kan wo sono ma MPP ma wo kan hu bi pa nti enkoma ye betwetwen ega lawyer for na be kan say e ba no law of contract mu a niam judges ni gina so na emra ni gina so egitum say contract be a contract and say wo mu a wo mu wo contract ni mu no parties no ye free be capacity to the contract enti lawyer wa won kwan say ne no bonkomo bibi ba MPP amanyoko no esan so yo so no ba lawyer ma chen
mejimu so na mo tizen
nyame adumu na won so
me ho ya pa
ya da nyame ase pa lawyer na pa ya free wa nye bone peni say bone kura no a ye kuram na no yi na Musa superior e ba ya ye ne bonkomo fa NPP amanyoko no ho dia ekoso ene dia ekoso ne dia bekoso yina ye bo ho nkomo na ko bi besi ana se amanyoko na kwa abato mu amma omoni suade hunu ammam na yenya Professor Mike Aaron Okwe committee kura se wo mo hwehwe de nam so ma de to amanyoko no e ba ye we de nkaboni bi wo mu se obi a wo ya amanyoko ne nipa be ba bontene bi a wa kire ne bi a ankoso de ankoyie na pen company fo ahwe edi yi atoyi ana
obey
yes sir
Mr. Superior no say but Mr. Superior no say
o wen sam de wa kan bebre
okay bebre no na say
awie se yesi atie bisane agro ni ntima me fan sha se yese de dikan de si ye nyina ye nchechira won so bo ne emfa mo mampeni dada na nado danko akufuado
ba no kana dia emu nyina ye ti ase no but okay bibi na wan kan ya ye very responded unim Nana Arodan Kokufa, who will be president of Ghana. Anna, or the Yako position. Now, MP before you, Musa, say 38 points, 38 points. Again, the banner is a bar. Ebi mu afisa MPP with the power obi a we executive bia resign
current executive see
obi a resign MPP with the power obi a resign and yes, I'm waiting. With the power, Obi resign. I'm waiting.
Obi just a senti.
Monsieur, with the power, Obi resign. Yes, so, open issue election, Obi obi abelu
lawyer still no baby say unyina so ntia wo mo resign say because we be refer to NDC say we so call elections 2016 and 2020 and but there was no call like this say national executives no be resign because they lost elections twice.
and okay man so say
na me say we ya okay we be baby say na lawyer Ralph Asima okay adentra wo mo resign yesan say NDC ne wo mo adinkunuma ba ban mu in 2016 and in 2020 they lost and obia ma meka say executives no wo mo resign adan MPP de wo mo resign
oh power so better break it the minimum should be 35%. So the equal 38%. No, please. Where's all money are resign?
Okay. Beyond Omon resign, no, a deben be a party here say, one year, if indeed, woman yabre say, come 2028, one better Mudin Kunuma.
Friends, no say, friends, you be Ade, the day baby. Now look at you, so be a resign.
I see. Obi baby sasa den lawyer Ralph for me na se pobi ditia emubiana because biana proud to Bantama primaries in the Obi Boga.
No, we need to be a little but a party the percent Ghana is we need to feature
I see. Yo. Lawyer, you bet that's it. I know Pewadaji no bre. All right, so 10 minutes after 8. That was a quick one from lawyer of Japan, private legal practitioner. Was answer here was Sunuba. Do near Bonkomai. Do we share in the observation of Musa Superior? So you was Sunuba said the course in a once a war. A man from Mobia said, Mampenida that nanado. Now, why are crank cray and now why a conton cray? No, there were yeah without any group of persons be supporting him. And about the buy na anyway, says Dominica do Santa Crache. Wako leader de bia or can and a chirima ayenti. So, Yabakuna Yabon Koma Awdwa Aka. 11 minutes after 8, Ade Akye Abia live in OK 101.7 FM Suni. Ma baby amakwa for her daily graphic dan wa edanenim. Biems ensem biem na wo daily graphic de bokratem.
Ensem de adoso pa.
Dia na pesa no pay yet.
Day na wonim se na wotwe we ye mu nsoso no kopiem e wokwawu abene a na chese e hono mo e boso papa kwawu abene unim ho
abene no
abene de unim ho na kwawu kro benzo na ni
oh mprayeso
e wanso na be hu
etibie na oh baby Mr. Tinkran every kra
Tinkran de say e fence akuapem.
Oh, that Mr. Alex Tinkran. Original Bensio owner. So you call me.
Oh, I see.
Na
baby. Ono fi krobenzo.
Na mpese mkai no.
Na Haruna Yusuf Wumpini and atro we e de Africa wa bene aba e wo daily graphic democrat mo na wo chese ukopiem okwawu mepo no so a na chese enije nko ana no memenda ho na 54-year-old civil engineer ba for akoto osei nananom atena nkonwa ya wo abene ene kwawu traditional area womo eso ne mu edne etena akonwa so se ono ena sese woye kwawuman hene foforo kra ya chese womo eyi no na baafo se ofri etena abusuamu ewo nkwatia na wono ena eba besi da sebre kwa mo aboaten otoso ono ena oba besi da sebre kwa mo Japan ya otoso mienu anemu etini nkonwa din de da sebre kwa mo aboaten ya otoso miensa na wochese da sebre kwa mo Japan otoso mienu no womo etu na de so afi etwa mu no bra na watena aoman no abanwa so bese emfie enso na womo chese enra inano memenda de na chese bebia wu de ama kwawuman titiro abene adehye na wohwe se de Ghana hase ya mamre ne amane esi efa na yen cultural dances ne cultural displays ahodo a na nanom ejagu mu ene yen rich traditions na chese efe yi pa na utumu se apolisifoɔ nso no mususu difa a wɔn hwɛ sɛ bambɔ ne bibia ɛbɛkɔ so kama na wɔn kyerɛ sɛ sei na ahenie no ho nsɛm no esi etie wɔn wɔ ahemfo mako aman hene no ɛnan
Kowusu
ɛnan ɛna yɛde wɔn si akonnwa so so ate ase ahemfo no ɛnan ena womo edomo esi akonnwa so konti hene of Abene nana simperedu ya wotoso mienu achame hene of Abene nana esiedu kwa ben bemu hene of Abene nana intim sampon ya wotoso emienu ena werempe hene of Abene baafo kyerefo nyako ya udikan edi womo na kyese womo ebechi kwawuman hene no de si akonnwa so sa ahemfu yi eti anopa tutututu do nsia pepepepepepe ena kyese amane ne amammere ekwan so womo efa so de niema begugu ekwan mu ewo etena brecho ahemfie a kyese sa abre na ngene womo ya ngene se ya na nwomto ne asa edimu kama wa Bene Mountain so a kyese na anya sanketo awu ene o man photo sante ankasa yetitu ne etena brecho ahemfie eni mo no mo afa Abene Mountain so ene adea ma jese obia aso aba so se yesi hene foforo yenya hene foforo a yesi a wono ya otoso miensa wo mo ya amamere ne amane nyina agu fom wie na wona nei wo mo ede akofena esan ekita no ema okuswaye ekire abetife hene a ono na ya donten hene ewo kwawuman adonten hene yesi ono na ehwe kire se kwawuman hene eye achemfo asiedu agema ya wotoso miensa ono ena kwawuman hene fofori edi kan ekuswai ekire no ewo abetifi
hene na je se dia wo kan kire se ye kwawuman hene a kwawunkro ni na ahwase etibie ne
obia kwawuman no na ye kwawuman no
to mu na besai kire wo ne enya de ketwa wo
wodu
I see
eti wo mo ya amamre ne amane nyina wie ya wo swai kire abetifi hene wie ya wono na sese abetifi hene oye adonten kwawuman adonten hene eno eni abetifi hene no na sese wo hwe kire se kwawuman hene eti na wo se ohen foforo no ekuswai kire no so ati ase eti wo mo ewie bibia no ena achemfo ageman ye abetifi ehene wode otu oman hene foforo yi efo ese waba no omesom omanfo no sompa ewo obuo ne ani diem
ba biam sei new crusading guide ni mo
me wa yo
dabio me so me make bibi na me bisa dia wo ken kakra say new crusading guide ni mo ode adehye mienu enfo nyini na atwe ni wo say kwawuman get two paramount chiefs
eno no me hwe mu edu de ma mini kanfa we ne mra we no na the graphic report no eti akire me the new crusading guide report so no so de aba no eno so me de beba
I see
because no be can say ba ko no mutu na de so no em say no so one penny say den to the court eti me nim to de ma me wi a me hwe num na me de no ato aso but ne na no me de course so a efe no ma benka ho asem me kan ho asem we are the new crusading guide so the odi aba no ene ahemfo mienu no mo nyina so fata wo mo ho ofe yie wo mo ho ofe papa aho ofe ni
so who is who
enti eduru ha na ebehunu
sao
ai enti ayi achemfo ageman e de afutuo ma oman hene foforo no se wabayi no omesom ne manfo no sompa onfo buo ne anidie ne ahobrase emfa nsom wo mo ma onfa hinie na wo ba bedie ne eme piepia wo mo tan wo mo sori ntia wo mo ai wo hia se nkabomu enam ne so be ma nkabomu aye adwuma e wo kwuman na kwuman afa ne ntoma pa efra enti no e de a daily graphic do bokatai wo de eba ye eno no
I see.
Ade how?
Oh, Dabida.
Na for one.
Oh, me how?
It to new crusading guard ye be takere no.
So. It's a person.
I was a new week. We have to begin the new week with positivity.
And no.
The positive things.
Ye person year 2 years or so.
That's right.
Yes, as some je and from my bonny ade.
That's right.
I see.
And a daily graphic croyamo so what they okay Professor Michael Kwesa White.
Yeah.
Say Yakwakwe acting director general of SIGA.
Baby I'm not John Boyd
State
one.
Interest and governance something.
One not John Boyd one.
It say you are not a acting director general of SIGA. Yeah, and also some daily graphic of Bokate or also so Ade Abba.
I see. And some no also.
President John Dramani Mahama appoint Professor Michael Kwesa White as acting director general of State Interest and Governance Authority SIGA. And nanam pese minya correct pa. No chese na no ya wada general bosome na to so aduonu miensa na appointment no ehya ase adwuma na Dr. Professor Kwesa White ono na behwe State Interest and Governance Authority 2019 Act 990. Now wahwe se niema bia first state owned enterprises ho joint venture companies ho any other state entities ho no ono ene behwe atoto sa niema ni nyina eti yehwe se aban ani so ade hunu hwehwe ya aban de gu akwan mu ene ho kro ne banyina no eso beba mfaso ede ama sa aban nwumakuo no enyina hwehwe na se no na wo chese say SIGA womo ehwe portfolios makomako 175 entities and womo hwe so 53 SOEs 47 JVCs and 75 OSCs ewo ebi mining ebi wo energy mu ebi wo finance mu ebi wo agric mu regulatory authorities ka ho health and education and afi transportation and logistics nyina wo keka bo mu na chese ehye SIGA asento no oye oversight responsibility ewo saa enyumakoi enyina emu eti daily graphic asem a wono so anope odenam
BMs asem we yanka obi anka ho
de hia
BMs na me ayadom anya bia watutu akwan kakra enti kwan a amanone contractors a wo mo ye kwan a wo mo fa so eyi wo mo kwan ye contractors yi wo mo so ankwaje saa nimdie ni bia na
sasa wo kan ze e de asidian so
sure fanko amasa man kwan hwe contractor wo ye kwan
why den
anope na make nimdie ade kwan de ebia nimdie no owo bi na nyansa a wo de be implement nimdie no na aka
sa
anka de oye waye
why den
onyawe biam so onyawe
say wo say mi hu meka bia wo say mi hu de waye
debi no fanko
e wo kan say no meko ho meko na bani
afina obako
ma wukuada
afina obako pokuya say amasa man kwan so biam za wuti we
yes
problem ni
ho say
oh
say wo kan
that must not
where's the allegation
that be say when
you have to prove it with evidence
when
evidential proof no so me na wo kan che me dey say me kohwe na me so me dey bo so say ampa
say ko he obi o take am won na kwan say but sister we pa January can say. Whatever men come ra.
But Nana, on a more serious note, why are young contractors fast year kwan wahano in fact and yet? Oh, because there are so many developed countries that are quite stay on the year kwan Nana, one more year kwan but who that? Who futrobia and just ye try me kwan in say because meaning sanka highway say and ke wo mu a wo mu sa ha amoakom ha chia ha say na nka mo si ho no kade beche no ba bia na acha de beche ni atrentre no
omo hwehwe ni mu bi nso so
even omo tetare potholes mu kura ahwe ne tan
ubonse na ya achacha
eno ka ho bi na grofo cars sai saa memeka ya asai ya ya alacha bai
oh
eno ka ho
me kwaba ne di san komo no
mate
hwe ehia obiems
ehia pa because bi omo ntwan makwan ni nyina ansai won ekwan bia won life span etiga ahase mu sa ya kakra no mo atwa masusu ho no papa no mo de machines asi no mo yi sa kakra na asai no na fo ma fele na ne na ye pepepepepepe obi hu sai me kwa me nko contractor school ne ho
ye betumi aye kwam na ye
menye kwai
na portos kakra mu mesi am gbewe na afi aya chacha
sa de na gu fum
na ya chacha
ko ta na fam so na ye po na tua ho tu kwa guguru
papa o ina ni tua am
oh o ma ya say me ka no
o mese no me de nso mo se ne ba 24 minutes after 8 live on OK 101.7 FM Ade Akye Abia Honorable Clement Apak Eyebusa South Emrashe Bedwani last parliament na ko yansa na foforo yi ebei I dissolve on the 6th of January 2026 na oye a member di akwetene pa parliamentary select committee titu ne nkrabata na hwe Ghana wumesiansem so ekama yi to yi no now we the minimum committee of so be omunyansa ati bi dia honorable Martin
kwale amo osofo mejo so mechia wona wa pamfo mechia tiefo nyina mechia Ghana fo mutie titu mempeso asofo bulsafo mo bulsa south ene Ghana fene nyina obi atie okay FM nti bulsa mena mapusu amena soluk nti ma chewe idea yeah parliament okay afena ya saba ya bwabwa ya ho ankasa the 3 committees and so far juma committee on selection appointments committee any business committee na meka committee of selection no me say as the days go by no leadership would make their proposal on membership to all the other committees. Na ya shisheni na pepepe. Nti yeguso aye juma de. Juma de sai. Woman who see who say no. Committee ni ho ene. Idea was yema yeni edi echirenti yeguso ndende.
Honorable na wucheche na nzo refi bako Dog Meat Eaters Association.
When I say global,
yo.
No, me a global president. I mean, I'm born basa. What I don't know, I'm too swab. I'm the live global president.
I do one on my
say, Bema was why I would hear. My turn south I'll continue to be the president. Some support base, is in China, and the Chinese population is very big.
Wow.
So open and be you cannot overthrow me. Because who got African, China may be big too.
I see.
China here.
Wonderful. Now,
you.
Ono bia said that no pe wadaje a wenya se oni atwetwe nkomo na we die ansa ne baba ya sempa no so no na nu fi adawada ma no wo mra se bedwafie
Friday na me ya assignment be kaka
okay
what say students omo bia no won sem na ade ati chief of staff Julo Zebra and then ya bet and then they are move food to all the schools. We were doing a review meeting at the office of the president. So I was at the office of the president.
Because I know Friday it's been gathered say for about 30 minutes now speaker suspended sitting. As I say, minority for protest be a year over election violence na adageni poso. Now where the mamisa kakra we minority what parliament abre as o moni so ahyi wana.
Nukwa na eba kope. Me say the abatwo no ekoye no. Since omunyaye abrimo muniso. They are still in a state of shock of Onibeka, trying to recover. That is the way I see it. Because the Abayo is not sustainable. Ujidipa said they can do this for 4 years. It's impossible. It's impossible. I think that it is a phase that they are going through. They want to go from 137 plus 1 to 98. Minority minority.
And I'm a bro for micro minority. No,
as almost a month of no, the country. We don't use macro. Ubetina, your boys, young ones, no, the children are not thinking. And I think it's appropriate. And I know that it is a issue. They are still trying to come to terms with Ubunibeka reality about what has happened. Because Obiso Munina, Ubiasi, now on that and soon that yet, say they see a bit missy. But the movement in Fokra will be a Canadian. General Secretary say a spiritual. That the defeat was a spiritual issue. And then you can see that the fraternity, the entity, NDP as a party and Kasano, they are in a state of disarray. That is how colossal this defeat has been in terms of its effect on them. I understand. They are going through stages, but at some point, water of finest level will stabilize in parliament. They got a formula butre. Let's indulge them. They will stabilize.
I see.
The way I can say this year, they are face one. Not thinking here. Say, half a cry a bit near to a munchuma. Full force on the cry and co. And we need to sympathize with them to some extent. But I'm also in them. No, I'm gonna recover because Ghana for Juma Amodia I share in some and Juma Kitwa. We don't have much time to waste. We need to get going. That's what I can say about the current state of the minority in parliament.
Yeah, no, Honorable Clement Park, Busa South, and Rasibe Jenny, and Etchun Komoi. Honorable, we've been told to say, Abai Amakwai, say, and 24 women that senior high schools, and no, 1 woman Tinsu Jum, Kodija, Tony and the Pa, as a Muniaman Kwadai, and yet the I spy, and crabby to me dinner, woman young one day, at the Asian. Is that the case?
Kwame, I say Katadi Betoja, and a free Ghana education service. Now, so can Kaya Ghana education service. It make reference to a letter from the ministry. Former leader, Ministry Education. So, government has given the go ahead announce approval for heads of our secondary schools, to be able to procure emergency food items. The buyer is first years now. Abaya every sweet share charge kitty say Wamama and Kurano school on the 3rd of January. Abra Wamunya in Shisha according to Charles, no. And Kurano buyer no who say bear and Abai exercise. The new government clearly had to deal with an emergency situation because the previous government and Akufo-Addo Bawumia had not made provision for the year 1 students that they compelled CHAS to allow to report on the 3rd of January. And it is part of that challenge that prompted His Excellency the President to make the announcement during the Thanksgiving service. Yeah, and UPS, said there were some food items, including rice, that he had instructed the Chief of Staff, Joe Debra, Minipa Jodi, that he should ensure that some of those food items, some of that rice was immediately dispatched to the various schools as a short gap measure. As you know, he put together a small committee. Yours truly have been part of it, with representatives from the Ministry, Ghana Education Service, Ghana TVET Services, any Office of the President, and a Parliament, my boss, Honorable Nochu. So we have been working on these issues, both making sure that President's directive through the Chief of Staff, the rights will get to the schools, and that we will look at what we needed to do as part of the further instructions to address the immediate challenges to do with food, given the fact that the previous government did not make provision before the year 1s came to school. So the one leg has been going on, and I think we are almost about to conclude on that. Some 139,000 bags of rice are moved through the military trucks, Ghana Police Service, and some private transporters. The Mijidi said within this week, since that is being supervised by the Flagstaff House, Mijidi said we will get a report, because as of last week, I know that Eastern, Greater Accra, Central, Upper East, many regions have received their share of that rice. But the engineer said the feeding needs of the students go beyond just rice. They have to procure other food items, say perishables, tomatoes, and then even the non-perishable food items, So on list now, they have 18 food items. You have maize, you have soya bean, you have beans, gari numone, what they say, cichre numone na so forth. So the reason why government thought it wise to do what had happened was to give an immediate relief or intervention for the schools to be able to stay open, for the students to be able to get decent food to eat, whilst government then works out a more permanent arrangement going forward. And it's a Abeto Jana Samatia and say Abai Amesika Amakwine say heads of our secondary schools, they should procure agent food items needed to feed our students for the next for 2 weeks. Then I think after that, government has arrangements to either repeat or to vary the current arrangement. A temporary measure. But I think going forward, once we now have a minister in place, a very capable one at that, I'm in a leader. I'm in from our days in Commonwealth. Meaning say obit me aye. Yes, so your time to be able to sustain and improve the free senior school program as promised by His Excellency during the 2024 campaign. And this is what has been going on. In addition to the rice, provision has also been made for the health to be able to procure emergency food items to feed our wards in the various secondary schools.
As much as we want to believe, so we interim measure be aimed at addressing challenges if FAC feeding situation where public secondary institutions. But honorable, is it going to be the modality you be feeding Kwadano? Said a BSU say, yan na buffer stock na dear ben nanka weno. Heads na as we used to do. Omunye tunya man kwadai.
You know that this is an issue that many were doing you know my position on that. I've always been of the opinion say we need to go back to say the net here and sign up policy by centralizing BBR to do the feeding of the students. Maybe GDP say no what. And so during the campaign and so on, you notice that it featured prominently. Your flag bearer, now president, he also spoke about it. And you don't be surprised that you are seeing signals. But the reason why I'm saying that what we are doing is temporary, and they say all of these things were happening post the minister. Until once we now have a minister in place, he will now sit down and look at what we put in our manifesto and work towards converting the manifesto promises into policies, so that we will have a full-blown policy laid out for everyone to know who will do what, when, and how. And that will require a much more engaging meeting or two. So I can say. But you are right that the expectation is that we would decentralize the food, the feeding arrangements, so that it won't be buffer stock that is going to be in charge the way it has been in the past. So I think the processes are ongoing. And if anyone had a doubt, Megidi said what the office of the president has decided to do in terms of this interim arrangement, should be a signal that things are going to change. The previous arrangements clearly would not hold sway going forward.
I see. Honorable Dana, minimum that if you are privy to feeding no chichemu with regards to a day, their border beer ya mano and more day students and so.
The documentation available. And look, let's be honest. It is now that some of us are getting to know the true state of affairs in the Ministry of Education and in many other ministries. And it's not to veer off the Nkoma, but any the past, my penny, John the man and Mama. I'm a dear trigger through Felix of Osukwachi, the acting spokesperson, soon to be confirmed after vetting. that every ministry, department, and agency, we are going to be waiting to see what we came to meet. Because there was a lot of things that was held away from the public and even from members of parliament in terms of the way things were done. Do you know that in the entire lifespan of Free Senior High School, you call a transition committee meeting as a subcommittee in social sector education? When we asked for reports, annual reports on the implementation of the Free Senior High School policy, the previous government could not produce one. They didn't have a report. Just imagine that. Not even one single report coming. How do you implement a program of this magnitude? Our budgetary allocations to the program to implement the policy over the period, 15.5 billion Ghana cedis. Out of the media review budget, the last one that was presented before this government exited, Amin Anta told us that government has expended 9.9 billion Ghana cedis on the policy, and yet the Akufo-Addo government do not even have one report to show for it or to pass on to the new government. How can that be possible? So as we see today, we don't fully know whether the quantum of money government claims to have spent to implement the policy, we don't know. I have filed questions and asked questions to Foriata, then to Educhum, before that to Napo. Sir, here may a breakdown of the expenditure. Because free, no, it does not cover elective textbooks. It only covers core textbooks. Other issues like boarding, like feeding, library fees, ICT fees. And let me be sorry. I said, look, give us a breakdown annually. How much do we spend on boarding, on feeding, on library fees? Come in. All these years, breakdown no. And it's so there's a lot that we need to make public. Say that they are kind of one of them who get they are better here. No man, you dear see I am Sikadi Akodi de dear Nisa, you must be brave. And what's that? Draw mama buying. Yet to me, Edituka. I'm not gonna phone because if we don't do that, sooner or later, these same people who have done all of this, they will start blaming us for their infractions, their omissions and commissions. About your fault.
I see.
And that is a sad situation. It's beginning to look as though what I've narrated in terms of the education sector, no, we are hearing similar stories in every other sector. And that is why I'm saying that your mama must be commended for giving the signal that ministers, heads of departments and agencies, everyone would be required to do a thorough analysis of what you have inherited and make it public so that the Ghanaian people will know what was left behind and the damage that has been caused to this country. It is colossal. It is worse than we thought.
I see.
But just before I let you go, no, you will notice that minister has also given a signal But one of the key things that His Excellency talked about during the campaign is also the national conference to review Ghana's education. Minister has also indicated that plans are being worked on. He has even hinted that it is likely to be somewhere in February. And I think it is very important because the education sector now, the challenges are from basic all the way to the university level. It will be a very, very important national conference for all stakeholders to come together so that we can see what we need to do as a nation in terms of resetting our educational system. Amana aso mfaso a chain mfaso a yenya no e de abo yenya nti edwuma ne de doso mo but me gidi pass John Amani Mama and the team that is putting together definitely the signals we are seeing so far should give Ghanaians a lot of hope, but we need Ghanaians to support the effort. Our government alone cannot do it. Damage, you know, and yet a buying quiet to me and repairs are damage, you know. It is colossal. And the Ghanaians should be prepared to call out those who are responsible. To be better to say, hey, yeah, they are hunting me. Which hunting? I mean, when you're before, why should anyone hunt you? But if you are a witch, you want to be hunted. So if you are not a witch, you have no reason to worry. And it's a one soon now. Now, why are you afraid? Because there must be accountability. Accountability, because we can't pretend as if nothing has happened. We can't pretend as if no damage has been done. We can just move on. Those who are saying we should just move on, how can we just move on? There must be accountability. I don't know about Sudria for the current government and the current ruling party. But if we sweep everything under the carpet, then when are we going to start being responsible citizens, holding each other accountable, and doing what is required in the interest of the good people of this country? Look, the bane of this country is the educated elite. I don't know what means any contract. It is a road contract any as a poor. How these are the people who are educated? Our taxpayer, I think people are called for Aswakaya. I'm waiting your scholarship. Yako school I can see I get degrees. I was saying this anime the other boy and crop for. You may a quenya. Now they are young when you do the sister one. They are one they are fat. But they are my eye only a bussy for. I mean, how can you run a nation like that? So there must be accountability.
Honorable Mobile, getting into 3 weeks. Momonia challenges be especially from heads of schools now.
In terms of secondary schools, you know. I think the major issue now in Korano, Adriane. I remember that the heads of the conference of the heads of assisted secondary schools, CHAS, they made contact with the office of the chief of staff. And Julius Ebradier, or a people person. And he immediately granted them an audience. Myself and Honorable Uchu were invited to that meeting. But even before that, you know, he had met with the Ghana Education Service and then the ministry, chief director, to speak to the same issues. But he felt that it was important to directly hear from headmasters, Omukuono. So he engaged them as well. And the issue had to do with the feeding arrangements and the fact that the previous government owes arrears a big cry all the way back to 2021. Woman try. And the fact that provision was not made for the current year once now, Omoko school on the 3rd of January. No? So these were the immediate issues, and these are the ones that are being addressed. So I believe, sir, for now, no, it looks like the needful is being done, even as government is looking at medium to long-term measures. Also looking at the National Conference on Education. Because all of these matters, basic education, secondary education, tertiary education, technical and vocational training, everything to do with education will be discussed at this conference. Well, we need to get some synergy. So there should be some synergized system that we should have in a way that would address our current challenges and prepare the youth for the immediate and future, and also to become globally competitive. Because these days, coding in for you don't have to wait to get to secondary school to teach students coding, information technology, and then for we can begin at the basic school level. And I think that the conference will be able to address all of these issues. So at the end of the day, no, Ghana as a nation, no, you know, say the beer, ya day this year, air cono, yenaya foaso, yenaya dear, and the yenaya sum. So I think the coming conference will be very, very important one for us as a republic, under the leadership of His Excellency, supported by his Minister for Education, Haruna Idrisu, and the rest of us in Parliament.
Honorable, but that's in a way the say after Eneya Yakase, head of school Bia or Baba Bonte, Abekase, and no Muni Adriane, and dear Natchez, Abrona Wobo, are buying any school crown, right?
Oh no, the can't say I don't know. Because, say, let an I buy, say, I buy. I'm a penny, say, Yama was critical food items based on their own list. Say, Abetoja. I think sometime last week, Felix Ofosukwachi, he made a public statement, which I know to be true, that government had released slightly above 200 million Ghana cedis to address this issue. And this is in addition to the rice. If any headmaster has an issue, then maybe that one they can let me know, and I'll call the contact person to find out what is going on. Because I know that the food items are moving, and the funds are not at the presidency. The funds went to the Ministry of Education for onward disbursement to the schools. I'll be surprised if there is any challenge. It cannot be from government. Not within this period that we are talking about.
I see.
Yeah, minimum no.
Now, Mosta Idia na Crawford so Montiasi was all this why na buffer stock at almost distribute Adriania military account, but the mobile de na military account, the natural boom say no be the Adriana.
Oh, well, no, sir, Adriania na e wo dada. Ndi anya say be abai koto here. Na Adriania ntia enya ene say abai dada no ekra emo ene ebro. Sir, nkaya be chiche ama ekuafo a omu free the Savannah ecological zone, the geographic north. The idea American is kind of north and now be so a pack free north, Haruna free north, baby, Haruna free northern region, a pack free upper east region. Ayarga free Upper East region. Bukari free North East region. They are not marking a trasa. North. North is not an ethno-linguistic or political designation, a geographic enclave designation. The northern part of Ghana has 6 regions. Southern part of Ghana, it includes Ashanti all the way to Accra, to Cape Coast, even to Volta. So technically, if we have to say Southness, it includes all of these groups. So if we say Northness, it includes all of these groups. I'm raising this issue because it has become very topical, especially in the face of these
appointments.
Jostling for appointments in Asifuano. We need to be fair. You cannot use a geographic designation to represent a political enclave when it suits you, and then you do the opposite in another geographic enclave. If we are going to brand everybody who comes from the savannah ecological ecotone and northerner, then we should also brand everyone who comes from the opposite direction. The rainforest, middle belt, rainforest, coastal zone is the geographic south. So they are also all southerners. And it is very important because it's not right.
I see.
And we ought to get this right. Ade Akye. It has worried me. I've made this statement on many platforms. But deliberately, people choose to do that for political expediency, and we ought to stop it and be honest. There is nothing like he is from the north. If there is he is from the north, then he is also from the south. If there are northerners, there are southness. And if the south is a composition of different regions, so is the north. It is not one region. It is a composition of several regions with different ethnicities, languages, traditions, and cultures. And as an archaeologist with a focus on ethnoarchaeology, the bigger anthropology, I can give you the details of how diverse groups inhabiting the geographic north are. You really cannot think that a Busa man is the same as a Dagomba man or a Mampushi man. That cannot be. In other case, coming back to education, if any headmaster has any complaint, I will be interested to hear the complaint because Mijidipa said what we have done is sufficient to address the issue. Whilst government is looking at medium to long-term ways of resolving these intermittent challenges to do with food supply.
Honorable Mr. Medasipa. Yani Honorable Clement Apak, Busa South, and Rasibe Jenny, and a kitchen comoy, a diababe drew Simabako up and on Cron a minute after 9. Ade Akye Abia live on OK 101.7 FM Suni. Mame Biamakwa for Ewa. Biams.
Kwame.
Now, what we are daily graphic home?
I'm a daily graphic. Na Matthias see the new crusading guide mo. It a friend of my back, they are now working on so. And ya dear be a young and
come to me.
Come we am to
I mean, come you to my command.
Na dear Mede ba a cataphato some yensa. Ewo the new crusading guide the obokrata no emo na wo kire se kowuman wo mo nyahemfo mienu aman hene mienu na wo mo kire se ahensa mo manso esore ye ewo kwunu nyenne na hwe yi a we no de ekeka kono ebeda na abutu ama esum aduru kwuman nanso etwam ensi da esanse wo kire mu a enipa bi ya ahemfo bi ene wo mo abochenku akwakofa ohemfoforo ede na babesi kwuman hene akonwa no eso ebra kwuman hene ana owo hono dada da sebre akua mo Japan to so mienu wo mo kyeso mo tunade so nanso no asem no pagya mu ede court ema nyame ya dom a wo kyene bena ena court ebebua asem no enti nanka ne omanfo ehwe ne mu ne se wo mu bewie court bewie asenkan ne bibia te ne sefre ho ansana wo mu besi hene foforo na ansa wo masi anase wo mu de wono a ebesi akodwa no so a wo mu de no asiso na we die court nyemu asem ne nwieye ena ahemfo binom afo wo mu ho akwakofa ohemfoforo ede na ba besi akodwa no so se kwa wuman hene ne senti ena nipa bi ka se koba se court bua se da sebre akuamo Japan ya otoso mienu ne hu ne mfumso bia efi bia ne ho oha bia ne ho edu onkoso antena na konwa so a na hemfoforo yi a wo mo asini da sebre akuamo aboaten ya otoso miensen wo mo de no eba befa he edu wo mo kyesa anhwe yi a edi huroye edi basabasaye ebema esum edukowuman ena kwame wo mo eka eho ensem na me de manuasi ewa hensam no ho edi say na ni nyina atie aha di la entika omo anka betumi anka mpanya ahemfo no na anka so omo twen na asemo a akuamo aboaten akuamo a Japan anamboa akuamo da sebre akuamo a Japan ya otosumi no ode kodan so omo so omo tu na ade so otena abanwa no so mfie nson na omo kyerese nkeka wa bi aba ne ho enti no omu ntimi mane eni kwa uman akonwa ne biu enti omu tu na de so no mu tu na de so na na so bo anwo so
eye mienu amda he mu baako
ai na na bo anwo so ahu ena otama asem no e de court enti akase court ebebu asem nyame ya adoma wo chena 28 January ena court bebu asem no ene se memen dey ahemfo ibi so afa akire akosi hen foforo enti se koba se court ka se ohene no ne hu ni fin enti na konwa no monsan fo na ade ma no a
nom de fa hen
na de wo mo de na sie no wo mo de ne fa hen anasa ayi de wo mo de wo matu no de wo mo court ba mu kura wo matu no
wonse na mi se boko de
na ni asem no that is the bone of contention wo ha no
na janfu ya ye biem anya contempt of court
I don't know na okoje court to me so de se court mfa ne sameto ahenie no so ana
instrument bia
so ye bibisa ena bia minimo I stand to be corrected so ye bibisa ena ahemfo na fa akire akosi hemfo fraud ana chese ne oma bua court oma bu court mbraso contempt of court but so wan koje injunction bia mfa meto ahenie no so dia and I don't know a lawyer for nbetimi akire
ewie
eno na ebinum abo ebinum ho abene won abene ena esi kwa uman hene
o so free abene
yes kwa uman hene bia wo se na se anase ofiri abene omo ne di kwa uman hene akonwa no edi wo mienu nyina afiri abene
I see and that means wo mienu nyina qualify
I should think so
wo mienu nyina afiri abene di na dey qualify
wo mienu nyina qualify na ba ko ni ho ana ba ko beba nti obi nim se bi obi na kwota akire e de kokwasa bi ba ese ai we wa ese so am se wa dwirim wa fraud ene ho nkro ne ba nti wo matu no sense wo ba o de so bo ba ese wo de adanse what you say adanse de di pefe se nipa sumesi obenten wa ese ne se untimi fiti preko nka se o wa fraud wa ese nti ne yetu no ene ho nkro ne ba eti se ade no wo montwe ma court mfatemu no mra court do atemu no so ebawie a na afei yafa ede afiri ho na I think said this one I think the Eastern Regional House of Chiefs so mo bambi because according to Dasebre Akuamo Japan otosumi no de om so matu no oso ono no ukọ Eastern Region records mu a ono na ya gazette no as the paramount chief of Kwawu. So what you say?
I see.
Enti no ade no aye no ho bibia wo.
Na nanu mo yin
sam de we yenhwe ne yentwa so because omen ya che o ya nyini ya koye ne hwe bia ya duru. Enti eni sa hensam ho man so ne sa ne ma no.
Atwintwa ya ne mo.
Ya tibi kranka. So what you say? Asase ho man so nie. Ahensam ho man so nie.
Wa wo hwe Queen Elizabeth wu ye. Simple. Na Charles na ekoyi. Wobia meka say na edua na ebusia ye mpene na oyoko ebusia.
Lack of records, keeping proper records of our chieftaincy we no. And no ka ho. So ye de ano na eka. We ni ho a we na eba, we ni ho a we na ahu. There is no proper written records bia. E kire say even say de ano ka kora nka ye ntro nto ho.
Yeah.
Then ya dance ye. So ahu. And sometimes the boy no more akonwa no ebia mema ewo mu anase ebia mema no ene edi nti se duru na se mema na san se ko different family mu ho na ya na kofa confusion e ba no.
I think we put in confusion.
Ebia meba ebia ko different family mu aho na ebia family no mo ya rightful owners of you know one mu satinya mema then you have to take the seat back. I don't know how true this is, but I think say baby a bone of contention ne ba no sa side ho no.
I see.
Baby a obehwe na kan tete mire mu no na won medi akonwa nkasa na omu ni mema. So ho ene yesi yemfa oba nso ni akonwa. Enti no na e wo se kwa busua foforo mu. Enti omu nya mema e wo se omu koje back.
I see. Na
kwa kofa basa ene ade aba.
Hey.
SMP. Now, Office of COP Nathan Kofi Boache and almost a statement be about Bontia, which say and Sembi aka ediato almost on a intrato so basabasa because so to carry him changing up be at terminal 2 and terminal 3. Na womo chese yera Kofi Boache ene ne metema ena womo eyesa into womo de krata aba abonten woso ena COP Kofi Boache retired ede to dwache mu se ono mpo na basabasa ye sore ye no okogina mu ema akomye ene asumdwe etimi eba ese de beya apasinjafo ne nyumaifo wo hono ena afenso no ejapade ahodo wo hono no eho bambo ne besipi esita enti beye de abeye nwanwa se wo bi a wono prosi adwuma konum wadi akotini wo muburu mfi aduasa na ne wokwa homeje mu na afi na ode ne ho ebe fore niema bi a etiri se mo kye se ade a egu ne ho fi pa na enye nokre sansem ni nyina no enye nokre no so ode aba new crusading guide the bokrata no
jo bia nsumeda was edoni bremu na mama sro na waso uboduem ewode en wadaroma
o se we release me o se me kan se e wo se mitia me na echi kakra
me
ko chia o maame na me ma no shedden
yakọ
because
dem refer die
husband free mu a
eya
mu ya
pa
ya rechechefo
mate nyame su nchira
wonso
no nkrowa ba pa won sema 10 minutes after 9 yada so tin konwa so Ade Akye Abia live no K101.7 FM mekwa awon su no makwa akote enkomoyi aba energy policy analyst ora beninsia na yene ne bon komoyi jiri na nse intem watin komo bia yakogya nwode energy sector wa ekukuru ni na is about ECG say ye town dia say ankran sem privatization of ECG anamu aba pese otu na odema ankran hwe so ano nkomo apie na ye ne gya nwode nimdifo yi emmon komo yi yera ben mache
Obagwami ya menkwami ofa
mpacha na bakodie
nyame adomofa
ya nyame asafisha panso
afin komesa ya mofa
yo
asi se na bia oka Jubilee House board
oh kanya bad die kanya bad kra enya bad kra ja wo man yetimi sum ni ne capacity nti ko shewa yo yera ben we de wa ya nimdifo wo janwode energy mu yi de ye misa o candidate stand ECG yade sha nkrankransem yade ma aban mu de wan na obe opti for
me da se de meka gira di se ejina ankrankra ye di shenisem se pese di sha ankransem na ejina aban so kra obehwe ECG se pese de ma aban I think sa ni man yiri na wo say hwe enya ni say yedi ma aban na yedi ma nes aban sa kwa na enya so say yedi ma ankura nkwenti yedi ma ankura bia sa kwa I think ni ma mi ne wo say hwe ne say aban ewo the capacity or the ability and as ankura so ewo the capacity and as ability ankura capacity na ne sika owo so between I inject it ama isi Japan into my fire and I said in India or deba the abesani man or say aban so abai e usa skano and I saw in India no kisani ma we never say asana ya can say the ma abai and I said the ma kran.
Very well. ECG over the years ye na ye nim say ya aban na e woni nsemu a ohye so hu om dwumadi say.
Okay, me da say ofa ohwe ECG dwumadi dia in recent times no dwumadi en konkan na me kan dwumadi na me de ebia nema mi no na me sabi na behwe ne dwumadi me hwe ne total equities over time for the past 5 years and the total equities declining because from 8 billion in 2019 to 5 billion in 2023 and we are currently 2024 data bar and there was to 4 billion. He said, yeah, I'm sure we are in the next 3 years no the liabilities override the assets until I fall into negative equity. And I know BCZ BBO say Yentimia they can to BCZ infrastructure be and BCZ Japan BBO 1% over 3 years because the moment we start ECZ will be there now. My power sector also no ammonia here but it becomes very unstable. No. Now the second part is more profitability and as a financial performance and also no nyadia yeka wasembia because in the last 5 years and also no apart from 2020 being an outlier of about 400 million Ghana cedis no ECG can obo and the last 2 years crown can also crown they take crown almost 16 billion it's all the key report from Auditor General and a reporter of public operations for 2023 almost 16 billion but who take it state ownership or state somewhere around 14 billion you know in 2 years in Guano we see Waboka 16 billion we see Waboka 14 billion and the company Boka hard dream because Ankabia liabilities increase you know the company may make between the liabilities profit be I redeem the liabilities naja was still on course but also no financially no a car no profitability no and papa losses and now observe for the last 5 years. Now we have also nearby operational performance is no ECG the system losses high because PUR's benchmark or the ECG 22%, but net system losses being equal to around 37%. But after 2023 data, 26.9, which is even above the benchmark PURC asset what they call Uganda. Some of their discos are doing 17%. What they call Kenya, some of their discos are doing 23%. So why should I always be doing more than the benchmark? I call 26, I did equal to 37%. So it means that these are all Sika and Kawase Baba Butuman in actually Copa. And operationally, ECG is also inefficient. Now, these 3 reasons in Tina Bio Beverdry say there was a Yefe. Should I buy come in and I say from our prayer? The first point is I was buying Bamwa, I buy Wiscano. In 2019, in a World Bank it was buying for sale also or design what we call the Energy Sector Recovery Program. Now, that program, Emma, buying allocate energy sector shortfalls in the budget so that all the Beboa energy sector. But I buy allocate on Timintia because the government is also financially constrained and as a liquidity constraint. I buy one be also on Timintia, and this was evidenced by the cash waterfall mechanism since August 2023. I buy static cash waterfall mechanism. Minister of Finance, the contribution to the mechanism is zero. On Timintia, Peswa Crown Call because I buy what you know. This is Okase Ka ECG bono. And I say the total equity and diminution, and I say decrease, the financial losses increase, the operational losses increases. Government should come in. Government always have to inject this huge amounts into it. Government so no or a cash trap. On one more $3 billion PPA or gas supply contract also Pocotia. And that is about 45 billion. Or no, yes, can into operational wise and so on time by ECG. I think it will not do. The other part is that workers will be buying any some good structure. Say we obey appointee will be a owning day, will be a competent. But yes, the way our political culture is. The political culture is so porous that it will be quite an hour. We see any obey money, but the question, now one year now, and also politics in the end, because the Panabia funding or contributing to the party. So government interference will continue at this particular area, won't me, and so on. Now, lastly, we'll consider privatization, and I think that is where the conversation is now, because government will say, oh no, this country will ECG more attending over. Or no, so on to me, any political interference. So let's look at privatization. I think that the kind of privatization I say communal and was I've seen a lot of proposals being say concession and I have concession that because PBS was a concession, but PBS also no it lacked transparency, it lacked inclusivity, and it also lacked honesty in the part of some of the partners, their ability or their capacity to inject some liquidity into the base of ECG and also improve the capital base of ECG. The consortium formed by an Angolan company and Ghanaian companies, one of the precondition terms is also bank guarantee. Bank guarantee and insurance guarantee. The government did a risk assessment of that particular insurance guarantee from a Qatar-based company. The insurance company now me if in case of any eventuality. The insurance company no any capacity. It means that someone lied to us. It means that someone did not tell us the truth about that particular consortium, and that is why PDS we don't have to repeat the PDS deal. We must make sure that Ghana media is carried along this particular privatization because of the privatization, the crest of the privatization, that's the Ghana food energy terms of the privatization. We even at our center is even proposing that we need to run what we call a social impact assessment survey. And as I was saying, survey here, we get to the Ghana food and as a Ghana for Ghana for privatization, then I was a Ghana for Yepe. And because it's a company, so if you are going to take a critical decision about privatization, Ghanaians must be carried along. And that is why I think that the committee, the ministry, must carry all of us along in this particular privatization. So, you to say, and company do go. And as any total equities, no, and send the run into negative equities, send the toll, I run into negative equities now. Okay, let it be there like that. But it also has its own consequences in future. So if they do say privatize, what kind of privatization? And is it going to be outright asset sales? I don't think so. Is it going to be a divestiture of the company? I don't think so. Maybe a concession. A concession, how many years and a concession? DNA also the bomb. Sikasen also the bomb. The Padudosen also the bomb. All these must also be analyzed by the Ghanaian and appreciated so that you need to say never say corner, young corner, and more company now. But a bank or centralized decision on Akofana Green send the PDS easy cover green then time now. I can privatization and so on purpose will be a right.
You're right, but what's in your Koyan Mukakra won't come away more. Not just yet, you have won someone who can hear who be here say. The best option now and the best alternative now is in the Bayes. Said they are buying all these years and that improvement beyond said then a carbonia the idea. Then a Bayes came from my uncle but no crano. I was say a bit cautious kakra. And son member a kua assorietia sana montuino. And before being so young, what they say mu etufo. Say yes, so Kotisi Jada on Yon Kwabo Jisima was in Sudio. Countries like Nigeria, Uganda, woman so far privatization Kwanya Sumekovia Sieno. Womunu woman. As compared to North African countries, woman no aban no ene but there is a strong government involvement. And some means to see the way na yemfa.
Yes, it is true that privatization in power sector privatization in Africa, do not I think 30% of them collapse, including that of Ghana, PDS. But context matter, because one context now, Nigeria, a problem. One thing is that most of the private persons normally these companies, among inject any liquidity into it, take advantage of the existing assets, and then also continue to call for increase in tariffs. But one, we need a good regulatory enforcement because regulatory enforcement then ensures a company and take advantage of Ghanaians, and we must also be strict on the injection of capital. Each year, I will say a company because in other jurisdictions within the same Africa, BIA privatization, South Africa, for example, and other countries like Kenya, private person involvement, more unstable power. So we should not always look at the bad models. I think in Nigeria, for Nokrano, almost Nigeria has about 10 or 11 distribution companies based on regional based or state-based distribution companies. And let's say you privatize, you cannot say privatize the whole of ECG. Every time privatize on regional levels, on zonal levels, Ashanti zone in different company should have it. The southern zone or the Greater Accra area, including central region and the western region, a different company could have it. Maybe the eastern zone, maybe Oti region, Nomne, Bota region, a different company will have it, and still NEDCO maintains the other company. Maybe nobody might to engender some kind of competition, even though they are not within the same market, but it might engender some competition among them. A bit Myanmar or be but with our experience, NEDCO is from a different zone, ECG is from a different zone, but NEDCO also made a net loss of 748 million Ghana cedis. So, and to me, I'm promoting that competition. So, the other argument is that after you privatize ECG, you deregulate the sector, you liberalize the sector, and allow other participants into it. As well as say, technology, and innovation, I allow other participants is another conversation that we must have. Said, we'll get system dynamics expert to develop a new model. On our distribution lines, any one company and quite many companies, so that they need to be fear. They said you have good services. Now, Aquapam, Najawama good service. The service I change and then switch to another service. I think that all these conversations, more committee no Martino, will respond to some of these issues and the best deal out of it. But I believe that we also need regulatory enforcement and macroeconomic stability because most of the problem with respect to tariff increments and under recoveries and as a forest losses has to do with macroeconomic instability, especially the exchange rate and the inflation. These are some of the key inputs of tariff adjustment. And ECGA complains the NPR because of the depreciation of the cedi against the dollar and also inflation high real-time tariff. I think that our economy must be stable because the economy is stable. Any private person will not sit idle and lose huge sums of dollars as a result of depreciation. They always call for tariff increment. And I think that on a conversation also and I believe that the technical committee must engage everybody, including people who don't believe in privatization with respect to other jurisdiction or more reasons for the failure, and then input them in such a way that we craft a good policy. Say co-privatization, say co-privatization on a government where government is going to get huge sums of money to inject into these companies. So
now to the issue of Public Utility Workers Union, PU. Are more strongly opposing Sana Moya Bampese Otuno. With more grounds back. So when we privatize just a clear move of profit over equitable service delivery. Then question Yebisane say, where is the equitable service delivery? No, citing inefficiencies and near ECG, where we don't need experts crowd to tell us about the Mejuma Womuye. Is that the case? A private for profit, a profit over equitable service delivery.
Okay, I think that P for no or more concerns are legitimate because any private person will not allow redundancy at ECG. Will ensure that they cut down payroll cost, and because of they cutting down payroll cost, they are because they are in Latin America, for example, or more discos or more, even in Africa, some discos in Africa are doing 1 employee to 1,000 customers. Latin America, be 1 employee to about 10,000 customers. Europe, Eastern Europe, some are doing 1 employee to about 3,000, 4,000 customers. Yeah, Ghana had, ECG, 1 employee to about 500 customers. Also, you need to almost say 1 employee to about 500 customers. Which means that labor productivity, most of these countries are very labor productive compared to Ghana because Ghana and 1 employee 70 per kumabi, whilst 1 employee 70 per bibre. But however, look at the practicality of issues in Ghana. There's also problems with on connectivity because of ECG work across it takes time. Offer ECG on fixing mawa. Even though more Nicobaco 70 per kumabi, but there's still issues of operations in a year. But the private person never ompene money probably and na office abra munya jumabia ompene ma onko share chiba binko ya Canada binko discovery and ko dia abra company ne boka nti as a labor union no they are on the fight against some of this privatization, but tariff adjustment in the private person, yes, or making sure so a real time tariff so that on boka, but it also has to do with enforcement. For example, the Inter-American enforcement kino, which also we must strengthen public utilities and regulatory commission, which might not do my offer this. I want to add into PURC anti-man sanction ECG. You remember 2024, where ECG was not supposed to keep many accounts. ECG kept accounts. ECG was not supposed to lie to Ghanaians that Doomson was a Doom CAC as a result of say more KP or more transformers and also more fixed or more transformers. ECG can say no credit. ECG sanction board sanction MD no. But in the sanction no Ankosi Babia, the entity Ankosi Babia because of are buying companies. But some private person ECG will sanction them and let them pay because any are buying and government has not enough interference. So when you get a good regulator within the private space, the private company cannot take advantage of Ghanaians and you pull for an account. So you get a good regulator, the private company cannot unequally distribute bills and other tariffs across board. So and yet the Omokano engine. So more per se, ECG, adding operationally. Sometimes I don't even want to talk about the finance part. But operationally, why are our system losses increasing? Why were they not talking? Again, no money, my more one can want them. But I know, said yeah, or more agitating, and these agitations will continue to go on, especially a private person or master and if I do now, but you know, and they are protecting their jobs. I understand them, but so more, they should contribute to the table. Let's all discuss it. Say a privatization no more residents and maybe ama ECG so that it will not run into negative equities. Let us know, and then maybe as contributors of this particular new reforms in Ebano, based on the proof for Nakano, any concept privatized, but if you are just kicking against it, I think that it's a way to blackmail government, and government will not take it now.
Robin, I know pay what I know.
Mr. Medasi.
You will not be surprised that Kubakwa sorry now, you better say Abaya privatize electricity company of Ghana.
I'll be surprised if we don't get the best deal. But I wouldn't be surprised if you privatize. But you're surprised but depending on the deal when you was saying any DHC. So I'm going to repeat PDS deal because I'm Ghana.
Yeah, that's your pay. ya ne owura beninsia wo ye energy policy analyst na twetwe commodify abanya na mo a wo tu say Electricity Company of Ghana edi emia e ko ha mu nti obeton anaso onton kra wo dane dia ma ankrankra adwuma na wo ma hye so na se de ne owura beninsia ka no wo se kwa ankrankra se mo aya na eye ne ye ne se hwe o private person o makwa ma nyeta ma open no beba adwuma onko fraudulent act bi ade o ni amane bi abeba. Anyway 32 after 9 Ade Akye Abia live no K101.7 FM sini yenji abo afon krato yimra sisi a na yento aso.
Okay, FM 101.7.
All correct, sir. I take a woman. Merimedro delay man capsules ya wonum ye die. Boy ye. Ahode na wanya ne sano. Wo delay adwuma no so papa. Na wo che. Na wo ye ni ye pa. Delay man capsules. I don't know. Ama me sisi ni me ko todwemu ayenten. I can see. Na local mixture ene the capsules a. E ma ne merima nyina num bie no. Me num bie no me do. Wo ho me say. Me hu se wa hi fie ho ayefe neat pa. Enti na wo ko she wo a wo delay sa. Sa. Local mixture and the capsules means so a feature chromo yaw biem mura se wo be delay kra no a means no be ma na wo baby a wo be hu dia wo mpe ana wo beti yaw bi e wo ho baby a no fa local mixture esia no yare bi te se gonorrhea white syphilis and the keka ho no wo bi a woni ntime nyi da enti ma local mixture and the capsules e me yefri hu e wo heba and pharmacies nyina mu dodo afre 0242 133 577
Ana 0248-619-999.
Local mixture and the capsules. And what's that there? In kind.
Best Point Savings and Loan.
Best Point Savings and Loans sika krabia wo mu gina wo mu na so pampe na awieye mre yi mu a wanhwe ya na sika krabia bi ede asokwa ada na wachenchene nti ene sese wunya sika krabia bi ti se Best Point Savings and Loans omuda so a eya adwumaden atoto sika sem amano awie peye na enhyehyɛ pa wo mu ewo mo customers ye eye bocho na foforo kra wo mu ede aba monten eye Best Mobile Banking. Na kyerese bank no a na wo ye no wo phone no so no. Enu nti se si ade. Se yesa line tintintin anase wo se wadachi e wo sika krabia hode. Eni hobio na ani kasem akon eka ho ne se. Wo betumi asend sika, asan agi sika e wo phone so. Wo betumi asan atua wo bills. Ebi etese DSTV, Go TV, Star Times, Empo electricity bill, any water bills nyina no. Wo betumi atua afi wo phone no so wa bra wo ti baabi edwojo. Na wo mpe hwei ede na wo be. Enu nti ye hia ne se wo bebu account e wo Best Point Savings and Loans. Na wo wi a na wa dial *277# na wo demukra. Washe banki na ye fofofo sa no. Best Point Savings and Loans. Ya makofa Best Mobile Banking aba. Jimmy so say, wo phone nie, wo sika so nie.
Best Point Savings and Loans. Best Point Savings and Loans. Your dream, our business.
Okay, FM 101.7.
35 minutes after 9 yada so tinkonya so ewo OKFM. Ade Akye Abia dwumedi so. Na yekoye num no Endpoint Homeopathic Clinic. Kasi edi be ya abo akokote ase bi ona ma na ne to ka bude. Ena ensuo beton so ayam from adi kan. Se yare ye friend stroke. Empetu ma prekope. Ansa na obi beka se sebi wenya stroke no. Na stroke no oba no. Waba mane wo kwan wodo pi so. But oni na mfa nya asem. Stroke ba ni motorcade idi nanim na membe wo boso yi one numbness wo wa bonse wo yi titriti ya de panie wo okra wo ntewe o de bebia ye titriti ni bo okra wo nte wo bonse uni pedua ni mu no enyema bia wontumi fo oni hu nyema bia wa woni ma de kro wo bonse se bi o madane ado yesa kakra mamie ene namu ni pedua mu hurisi a no mokwa no mafa no mewura nipa kro no a no wo so wo a ni body mu emu hihye as a choba muchia ye no aso nkwan afi wono a awon ne no sasabronya ututuo ni ne so so bonse ne ho woso saa seka tutopotoso wono a wonye adwumaden okobula mi nkrofo papa ya boy wonye bi wondo by day wontwiman diesel articulator nanso so bonse na poso na chiribramu no nkotodwe eje ne ya wonye adwuma bia na wote wono no abre stroke yare ne ba ne convoy ene makati ono ne motorcade nema koso oni pedua mu a ebo wonka yese emubuye yare stroke ba no emubuye yare stroke nko a prostate cancer say emema yare prostate cancer ema yade rubber to se bi bema scorpion pimu enu se say eba ema prekope ebe sha se abo wonka ya se meba wo bibi aye de odi be hunu ne se bi bema jonso akan pa se one pe bibi in the next 1 second engunsu ahwe obajonso egu ho ubebi o flap de kwa me nkroma pipe atu winsem no hwema obechimwachi oba wo maternity na nyamia ya adom na se wachim na se bibi beba eso ko se pipe ebetwa anso ko na se pie son eba bo se muachi mienu ase tire kore afi obejunso ewie no ase yanyam kpakochito edi egu be mem emu besisi wo se ya mra wo junso ye prostate cancer oba no na wo bo wamane se wo bibia ye ntem ebusan stroke ni prostate cancer ya maka o mudie akabi yare ni na de egumenim omo ba kokoko ani amane ya o mudi nkan bo na so brenti endpoint homeopathic clinic yare mienu amaboso stroke ne cancer eye prostate no se wonu obi a ebi aye no anase ye won so a agese di aye no ompa yaresa agese di aye no ompeso ode no ho every stroke ana prostate cancer nim na se ope woje pa peso ode no ho a endpoint homeopathic clinic ena me kan for the amount obeko a unu ho da hepatitis B any awo endpoint homeopathic clinic omo wan say ka Dr. Dubuatima no ho kwan a ombetu no badin no kebeye constituency bi mu nipa omdo so papa womo a Dr. Dubuatin nyame nam no so ama wo menya yefuna wo ba no se Dr. Dubuatin no ho kwan say na mi ni na yemfa ne din to so na ni na no wo pene a enka ma ye de o ma to Dr. Dubuatin no eye constituency bi mu nipa no ye wa be fumfidie ma yarehwe contembrantem ye work Spinters Road Shell signboard Tema Community 25 ye ben ko na so hotel Kumasi ye wakronoma bohia Angel School Complex no nchen wa ena takrade ye wa Anaji Estate Queen of Peace Anaji Police Station nchen wo Dr. Dubuatin say ehu be nya pa say wona ne beka sadia fa obi a wo yare ana wo a wo ho fa wo ene sebi wo a wo da sori anopa yi wo bodi munya wo fine fra no 30 minutes a day ni mansa no akọ consulting room 0244 86 7068 0244 86 7068 and 0274 23 4321 0274 23 4321 Dr. Dubuatin say wo twen wo call pa na best mobile banking best point savings and loans sika krabia wo ye de obinye bida fofra wo de abanie abribia best point savings and loans penifo da no da so da ya eye enhyehyeye ene sika krabia ntotoye beboa ma wo mo no mo customers abu bia wo mo aha wo mo best mobile banking say netie obo star 277 hash star 277 hash obe follow prompt no na just obo wi a ne bebe bia no wodi so kakrakra na star 277 hash yeden abi ehu hia save okaiska no save wadaje no bre faye bibi foforo ubo 277 hash no a skebia wo pese wo transfer anasikebia pese o yi free o MTN momo o Telcel cash ana Airtel Tigo money mu now they are to account mu no very simple obo star 277 hash no a obe transfer baby owo bia easy bonsa ko to account no mu ko don bia pese to airtime bundle data pese do phone na to easy best mobile banking DSTV Go TV Star Times Box Office ECG ene bills bia wo pese utia with your mobile phone best mobile banking ubetumi afasanje se yiso etia wo bills na you can as well pay for your shopping what call shopping he say your first can say hu one we no be the blade at your back pocket not of mama nafa transaction there our so sikem best mobile banking and na de ne ye easy reliable and convenient ne mom hye ne so say yanom fo no ho frosters asem na me ken wo mo ho chaya mo ni na ho chene so you cannot receive money from abroad through best mobile banking oh just came through biwo and obi se news came from brochira best mobile banking untumi fanfa ho say no yenye bi enti se obi eka se fausika yi adami se news ka me dey fa best mobile banking so ka chen se da bi wo mun nye sa asemi tire mu nyina se wo pe diaka to free se se wo fra ye ntew 0800 505050 0800 505050 best mobile banking phone ni usika nso ni as simple as that na Whitestone Eye Clinic o se ni pedua no ni windscreen eni e wo se hu ade na se de windscreen bia wo wiper brano e paper windscreen enim na me ni da ho no na driver hwem hu no sana nipa bia nso so wani e wo se wo kɔ Whitestone Eye Clinic na ye de wani wiper e paper so ma wani no da ho clear because nipa ni no are very sophisticated. Here see a no ocular examination, refraction tonometry, visual field test, optical coherence tomography, and color vision testing. When you call in an say passia, then you can say yes. We need it tiapo. No better under the crowd now who are dear. A bio open new glasses ana ebia o glasses dada but there say onu yi say ebu amon hu ade yi ase untumi mo fambo life papa bia Whitestone Eye Clinic your stylish durable frame a single vision properties and lenses a sound UV protection and a blue light blocking properties no bo so de that is to say who 690 cedis per. I'm telling you. And what's Whitestone Eye Clinic? So by a strictly by appointment. And ninti o friend number here emwo bi a wo pay free ye ho no ye de be ma wo dodo 0242 25 1983 0242 25 1983 frena book appointment ne na bra na yamo adwuma 12 minutes to 10 St. Philip's Enterprise ntade papa fie ye ka se ntade papa ye ntade a bruni ye won sheda na ye ntade a munu dwan se oto St. Philip's Enterprise wo dia ene se obegya isha enye se bi eni anwan enye se eni apa se obegya isha enye se bebi ate ubegya isha na kire se sebi wanyini waye kese ama tade ne na nko wahye perfect St. Philip's Enterprise ntade ama kaye fufuro bi anka emu detu no St. Philip's dey still wahye no be 1 year kra wotam de che obi a ase ne ya na okoto ma nipa no quality men's shirt, suit, t-shirt, Lacoste, hoodies top and down, jeans trousers, khaki trousers, material trousers, boxers, belt, shoes. And then yama kekayina St. Philip's Enterprise. Da bema disesi no ma se ni dimu. I want your tone and actually perfect man kaftans. Obey perfect. Perfect obey ni say atade obeshano. Wunshia so obi shebi da. Obey perfect because engagement awoye outdoor na awoye wedding awoye atade a wone wo mrantie groomsmen ne hye no obi an hye design ni bi obi an hye color ni bi bonse mu damu fua hye St. Philip's Enterprise ubenya perfect man kaftans wo ho ebi asesia na yebo amane enti wo free fie kura wen siesie wo ho for that occasion but atu wo kwan wo ka kan weni fa na menya atade fofrato ko St. Philip's Enterprise Ayalolo station ya Ben Kingsway Koko bode kwano a ekwa Akrapole left road no Okanshi ya ne Ghana Commercial Bank ene ye opposite ena tudu ye wanka ne IRS edana Ben fire service ena Kwame Nkrumah circle de bowura odona trotro station mu se sudu ure mu na pajiwani kwasoro kakra ubenwu se St. Philip's Enterprise ne good down one. I am come. 10 minutes to 10. Akasumadu na nonduabo. Another yabo mashemu pa generational thinkers. Ti Madaroma. Another ya suspending interviews ne kakra and say. Mosuma kan hu bia ene wie payenti. Ye bia o mana tumuna generational thinkers. Enkoma yabo ne nne edi yakoso Ghana de bon krata ne de om de ba ya BMs mame bia makwafo ekenkan de ma yen unu sei emra ye bia homa na tumi ye besre uniform shop mu de wonsem so Upper West region sa yare no a ehye de ba no cerebrospinal meningitis yare na ma no homa no so de den wo Upper West region. Ama say kase nkuntabuo kire se nipa nan ya mutu. Yare na twom mo nsama nkodu mato na nanom wonsie do. Ena afoforo nan so ena wosusu se de wo mo ye wo mo hono yare no manya bi. Nti so yare cerebrospinal meningitis. Ye boye ho kokko. Asra se ye hwe hu ye na yare na ba. Anyway 0302 243-529 0302-243-529 0302-243-547 0302-243-547. All right, so obetumi afra bana yanu atwetwe nkomo. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
What you doing, baby? Akase free. Me pachaya na why your voice ni kakrama na yentio
mbacho we TV and now Odo for a while to mother come of quarry woman on the quarry woman country. Let us be then after one come with quarry and Chelsea. I won't get down.
All right. Yeah, that's it. 0302243529 0302243547. Hello. Hello.
Pacho, good morning.
Pacho radio no volume no betu na na from kakra mai.
Pacho, good morning.
Good morning. Pacho dey baby okase free.
Hello.
Hello, good morning oh.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning. Pacho, what you mean kan?
Pacho me de Matilda me kata free dance man.
Yo, mama TNG.
Yo, me Pacho me pese me bise mo free education no more kan wa sem say we Facebook ko ba ni ade no. Ade na de da ma me kana say abantu for buy mo kan wa sem pa no na me ntiasi.
Me Pacho yo.
Mpacho mpese nka pay. Your friend is saying, and no name baby, no be a regime, Jano a regime.
Auntie, Bobo dear. Hello. Oh, sister. Sister, our friend is here who do birthday from Dansuma Mete. Mati. Happy birthday to you. Hello, good morning. Hello. Hello, good morning. 0302243529 and 0302243547. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah. We didn't baby I got a free. Yeah, one no kakra ma na yen tu ye nti. Aha, ya fe yen ti. Hello. Oh, David. Pacho Sambrabio. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. OHENENANA KWAME AMOH.
When you who me did, my miss me who dear.
Your friend Alhaji Gadu Kwame Nkrumah Tikesina Danfu. Your friend Honorable Yao Patrick Boaman Peswasu for Dama. Yankupon Kamoho.
I like
Amen. Now, Madame for Kwame, now other can't tell us here or bar one kind
Mate.
Meaning, tell what you like, dear, meaning Baby or Quatanti or bar one kind.
Okay, o tiepa Antina Gunasum.
You. Oh, more Bagima Pa. Now, may you resume my own so I mean, I can kind to Atama no Biamakov. My wife, no.
Hey, sir.
If you can't answer me, Kianukuno, I like get up my Tuano so okay. Meaning no one need, Mazatuano so a Hanuman. You media Anupai Maminkia Afino Marcus, Naminkia Lawyer Jason Kodia, or more bright Mapa, and sometimes also Jumba opinion, Papa no Yajima, Yankuponkano. Here and there Anupai, best. Share Basa Yo and Kichiro on my NBC on why a campaign. I can't tell you as in now. Share His Excellency Nana Nitumedi Wama a comedy. The Kunak of 5 C's. Petra cost $1 Huyana and Tigana for almost or more bar. Ombe tetini ya maswama yenye na ya hutoe. OHENENANA onuna ya hushe. Na hushe as at now 3 weeks on the land. Yenye ya yipa beye 12 ena omufri omunkwa. Ena mbasa yonti. Enye diya enye nwano. Ene suye ya enye. Intilesire siye omunsha na omuntutu niyama. Na yenina ya kradu ya tini amano swa yenina ya tirenkwa na me hauni na se ye employing for MPP for ye besere tutu ne committee a ye tie te omo hwe tsunami no a ebe fire no ye nyina ye da su dua ye ntiase omo mo na hwemu no ye ne ntam na dia ko fasa nyama we buy na yan tutu nyama no yi because adidija anase amuna adidija ni amuna na enti ubesha matisa we interview and for the day biminity ya ja MPP from Masenko yan show yan 2 million passengers or mountain full no entina ma tanya makotu ise sadia omuntu tunyama yi na so aya so bi se nipa uti abanu na obi flower fa call no se bibini a person papa kancho no we sanu a ninji se edi ntanto beba na flower na wo fa nipa no showa wo etire na wo pese wo nipa no koye wa dia mawa nana mo fi se nipa no so se ono so akuma won mu obeya mawana nti when na sebi anya school nyina na eyo bijo if you answer so ho but I am paying for you if you say if you answer so you be kan wa ma echicheku nti when na eya dia say na ya sia na ya nchichiri ya ho bom na 2028 na me ya do na ko du ho no ma 2 million vote no ye teno no mo kasa na santu abano kama na people sambra by mo na yentia ya free education yusu na o ma no fa to mapafra oni nyame ya di
ya da se nyame nka ho 0302243529 0302243547 hello good morning
Morning ya bema
yo ba pamba jo di ni baby aka free
yo wait of mama domo
yo
ano pedo me den chemo den kwa majene secretary papa Justin Chimponkujia na mesanchia Aja Safia Muhammad in Deputy National Women's Organizer Michiano enano pay na welcome with the Mr. Mibison Bishop Lekmanov elections no more declare the way we need to nana
me pacho dabi
oh Mami who be bisa on a boy close to you we near chese the pan na jam no what's up to now if you point me declare mama no they ko nyina chese mama no we win candidate no no contest here no me no ka so we bisa no figure so nya kwa onim police station one kasa kwa electoral area to abakwa onim nti we be no akasa to abama we win nti e be electoral commission ache eso mutimi declare mama na mama no sutimi da no mutimi ko parliament ko bo ejuma de bo no constituency na ochina church na chipumas na ekoi da ba na mpese mu declare mama no obi aso ni mse no bo kwa chiyi we win 2028 Ghana for no sampa mandate ni yensa ni mbu o man ni yi na mo ndi so mba grassroots for no so na o ma no mukuta party the grassroots for no so party ni yes so be dey no we dey if yes this time our leaders say they use say be leaders and the police station executive class no between recover so the do personal for no between recover shani aso and no be to say yepe dem say inshallah nkurumdi ebe yo mangana nyina dia no be mama to say be to transportation mu any petrol mu we dey ebe so me kwa mayo ina ya tututu mu ina be ire se benta ofa woni na mi na adwuma na no pay
so mama nyame nka wo so ho hello good morning
Many Ate.
Yejo.
But you are saying you can take a winter.
Eh, as you.
Papa.
Na kwa winter so bako de.
You who are doing. Na class so mo what say.
Oh, nyame adom ye ho ye.
Dey we na party. Bale. Bale ni wa kwa mo ho. Mo go juma papa.
As a thank you right.
Mami sia mi mami. Mi mami mesi akwa. This ma wodan ni mami ni mami no. Odi ni ku ni ma na akwa. Everybody you man alpha junior, no mama, and do my gentleman just so. the town power USA abridgment. Okay, community. When you pass you, you be sub president, your mama send that crash. But if you are ready to mammy. I know every opposition. Our campaign, no, 3 seconds. And what I didn't know, said you, they come my crazy Sabian. Let me be so. They say, and whatever 3 seconds from a very bad pan on me. Then say, Gary Sotis, Gary Sotis, and Ebba. Anyway, then it is up president, your mama say, and what I know. When you're in Nigeria from Kora, and I saw a Ghana from Kora, and already Ebba. Ghana for much farmer, one is pop. That's why I'm to you. One to a better view. One to a better view. Say, 2 MPs. And I got a great papa. The next time, I'm about moving in, I'm papa, and my MVP. We share MVP General Secretary, JFK. Because we will, as well as the one channel pay. Bye bye.
Medase pa kwa nteso wana yati in the free 0302243529. Hello, good morning.
Hello, family.
Pacho dini baby okata free.
Ukata free kaso mdini na nayo. Bido na friend common sense.
None ya
kaka mbabe kanfa ekanise MPP for no kugo na idi nefa election no committee no moteno. Sebeka mko anka mo fa ekanise grassroots for ni nkan ko tin bibia ni bi lusu aba mo committee se mo ko fa professors lawyers mo ko ground o nipa no mo da committee na no ko bi nim kan na lusu bai my listing in my be enson na lusu bai so me to me I contact me number we mama from back door can make sure my be enson to me lusu bai I mean to me kan because of the party interest. Into the number, no, some leaders maybe. Maybe the vision to committee, I'm afraid your grassroots in count. And maybe be an book you. Maybe be a book here. Kitchen, near Africa for, and you see Africa for far before. And I may see a book of cover the piano. The image in Ankatana down, the Ajano. So I say, the book of cover the piano, it's a mistake here, I could see. The last issue, light issue, I can say. I would say, you see, Burma, you can say, private company, no matter. You see, Nkoma ko jail light in see one, those things, no. I don't want to buy your cushion bono. You manage it, can you manage it? Your professors who go on my way, no lawyers. Me, I can't PhD from Guha. It's almost to me and manage it, common electricity. Bibian Beton. Bibian a private company. Your ministers no go me MPs no. Omo contribution and doing. No to me farm common sense and manage bibi more minor. This is a private company. No ko say chi. Ajimu interest. Nti o man ye ko eni man say be echi. Abofo e kusu o mo bibian no do private company. Ye sa me Ghana ye can say the network system ba ko use. Ghana Telco, ya kotonye. Chefenia, MTN to go for me, we for extra your mem, fuck it on the bundle. Because you need it. Let me know when you're tongue. Did it be a minimum to 4 years and come my go on factories? What time a factory to go in no matter how? In this area, or chef factory to go, what time a turn them so from the sorry. It is to me a done. It is some leaders in the sense. You pay for that break one among us. Doctors, we are lawyers, we are professors, we need to from common sense and manage. Common management. No management, no you to by management. We are no matter what we say. No more interest. Into a man, you could manage your creation. So, when this entity, but only you see people in Afro, you may entity, but you want to be a social. Signing this is not social. Now, only you see people in Afro. A brown coma bread, do this, and if you are also woman in phone. You may know what prego and more manage won't we manage it? Now, bomb wants some money, may a professor, may a lawyer, may a treasure and so. A professor and then not really manage it. According to our professors, only to creativity. I want to find every yeah, no more pong. Now, soon, here, Tramka, 4 years, now, Mamma, Elbert, Bunamiko. We are moving on the new vehicles. How? Am I don't know me? O man sa san san be ni sia e ku dum de sia. The opinion leaders inform wa info. Ni asofo mu o so no man kasa. Ko you are a coward. And you saying this MPP sa no mo think o man how? We are from a number from MPP for na me chill ni man so a and you lusu aba no. No bu ni man so. High intimidating because of the party interest. Na me jai na professor for market so mo go mo ka ho. They are part of it. In their communication, I'm not going to so the number of MPP for me, living an hour, we don't have from common sense. Only the man no friend here, let's see, Mamma could mean and sound strong. Manager baby, I'm the drag, and a win, and no, a big count. You not show me, you mean, away. You know, my true. Namun jai say we no ma bana ye be turn light no I'm a private company no ma ran obo se bosun be sun e abte ko to sikuabe 1000 bitime tua won tua odi sun adan o man be ni o to o man ni bibia mo ton o man ni bibia private company adan ni ye ma ko share kiri ana se life be no dia Ghana fo mu so waka se o man ni japade mo ton wa figure tama e be gu sa me no e tua ya so so dim Muntu manager, I'm probably finding a mother to Abama to Abama. When you say about to manager, let me get into Abama because we don't have common sense to manage something. We be a brave Japan, the managing it was mean to come a private company. How? It is all we cannot or cool go or master or coin PhD or coin Congress or more management or more electricity management. Muntu managing is a more fat. Abofo anam ko fa private company you and mako share 3 adding percentage how amande yakwaya na yabae yakwaya na si yabae isi ave o to credit ye show na sa ubi se Ghana Telecom wa ante na nkoko so mama nya no interest mo no so mte tu se ya ko fota no tu fu mo no so mko tama abofo how nti mani bia na ye ton mo so mo ba mu nyi bi yankuma yegu na ma ton wa fi jeru mura so ma ton ade mo ba mu nyi bi o kwa no ton o de ye o de kritu de o kwa ton nge hai ba o fatre mo nsi bi company mo bi yankuma bra gu no obra ye ko so mo manage ni kaka mi se mu ntumi mo manage ni kaka wo mi se ntumi manage akoso mo ama Ghana fo nya so mfaso how mo ko fa bo fu bi na mutu kwa ha bu na mo se be miai so that network system mo miai fi ntumi kase adai if you leaders wo mo ko mo abota do mo fusu o ma top white komo management ntumi manage bi na mo ton nakopon ewu yemobo on for my Ghana.
All right. Yeah, do besia na ya do ase. Hello, good morning.
Morning, sir.
Pacho di ni baby o kase free.
Nana pia ni kase free flaga.
Yo, nana yenti o.
Kwame, we dey me frame kakakra. Na say yatna omai mu ha che kakra. Yenu maban ya omo abaso a wo mo ye nyoma bi ni ade a ekwa ye di echi. Na yampese me frame kakakra ne say em saban we yede na ebesis na eni na otu eni boso na grandpu ni so ye kana fu na ebe ya adene na bia yen yete no ebe ya aduma yen stop side privatization no so ye kasa nyoma bia na se ni ade yen ka bia ye pesa aban na eye de mayen da so ye be ka nyoma bi ene suku aduane ho na hwanhwan ni ade ye yin yeko aban ba ye ma wa ko na say be ne ne kasa de ne wo how awo be ka e de bi hia o ka tra aban no o aban se school no say ye hia sanka wo be ye ne se ya man ye se wa abomo eno ne asema yo se de Ghana fo ye de to aban mani because aban bi o be bia no ovia o man no ehia MPP aban ko ena MPP aban ko le ta no ma no college ne efra ye ka de ehia ma o man no na video ti ma ko ye meda wase.
Yes, there was a papa. Hello, good morning.
Hey, OHENENANA KWAME AMOH.
Ah.
Bishop Nebonsu.
Nebonsu.
Kobi asante kotoko. Asante no. Uma pema bana pepe sadi atwi. Yeah, orana. It's Hannah. Doctor. Kofa by one. What's up with that for New Year Rama? Whatever want to say.
Oh, adumara kwa. Nyame gusu usira wo mo.
Oni ni doctor ne fully sapon. Na fanabeze. Na kwa no so anka so e.
Oh, nyame adum timi won kwa wa nwode.
Na asante akwa de shewo, kuma dike shewo yi. Ono kwa da wote na jiro no.
Ejuma na kopie baby kakra.
De nyame ase na kase mia still maintain general secretary say me visa na wu. Aha, gasin kopia ono ni maintain no matter what. Na jombo so senya mpade man papa. Also ma feno delwa. But ni deputy national organizer so adi also ye senya mpade man. Mo ya adwuma nyina no ye kamo. Papa. Ni yo la sabe ku se senya mpade man no. Ohenenana Kwame Amoh kadaji. Ghana fo na sole waka. Kotu abano mat. Ebi sida edema current president. Enti yenim say ya boka wo ya yese yo ntina Ghana fo to e dia banya shame nsem. Kama yese enti so no ya so sadiswa no afane ya doso. Sisi waka wo pene je kufo e mo de Ghana commercial bank ma nkwa Ghana fo so mo pene. Yenya ye pensu na not dan kufo ado. Gibi yisiji asa de ma nkwa Ghana fo pene. Na kuba ni sana ani nansa. Tesi amu ndo koma nkwa yi. Enu tini butaye nti amu baaye. Ghana fo so betina mentele yo madwuma no. Enti saade no bese se mutu mu mfiri ho. Ni wori se ba na ebo su. Ye nyakoto. Se ye nyina gu kenkem na obi fu ani ye yinu esifam. Ye hia se bon paisa cement be to do 70. Dokunu ebetima bebe 1 city. Ye ni wati se nam wo position sama kase anamu kanu. One can send me yes and it will be a book out. Ghana for say ya book out on it to Obama. One ben and move first one a bit must stabilize and then I get saying now 20 Gusua yet to him. It's a necessary minister ye you. So be Baba Jamaka Simbi. Matisse Jerry Crown Mukofo go. What's it to Obama? We are what say. Nancy say go to any juma. Let us see how much more promoting next time say went through. What do for say to one of them comment to me cow to me and car. A yet day over call a maybe-aba. Said ye nay pensioner ye could be a year transfer and a medium may come us and say, when you can afford my teaching woman among Ghana forecasting you for that and flow, yet ye Ghana forecasting ye yampe. Ghana focus on the level at the end of your prayer. Yanti woman, I never tell me a talk back near to patrol. They are near soya mind of Bonifiasi. Now, feminist Sabia, a Zoom meeting. Yeah, one meeting. I said, yo, I am a funny girl, unkind, and you know, I never, I do a poor man penny now. No matter to be a medical position. Who are say, yeah, I think the deputy information minister. See, yes, soon, Kayan Sam. Did you make clear, make can say? I hope that fear and was it at the GID. Who said the figure in the way and the phone continuing mass union to continue by a GID by 4C. At the intention of nothing. And in your local government, I'm a so. I want to continue can pick up Miss Miss also in Sabbath Canada. The young guy can afford. Upon a power pan headache, the air cabuchi, the 10 MPP, and because we never should go up and the woman she sent me some. And young MPC of Sumapan, Indian came home. Obiba now sure, in this canteen a wobble, you don't know information every war. Now, but say, next year, that's them. The idea of a deal, yeah. Only it didn't go.
Lebon to Yaminka Hona, Oma Odan to some ye, ma, you better for chato. Hello, good morning. Hello. Hello, good morning.
Okay, fam.
Hello, good morning. Good morning. Hello, good morning. Anyway, abusa aha ene yade esumni na besi. So banu ankwa ojuani so. Yabeda mu na mase. Se mutie yen anopai na mokaye ho ewo kasafidie so. Se wo hwe live on your social media platform no so. Won say ayetumtum. Wo yan yebo apayo. Nye se bia ye bepon yen pese obehu se ye pon. Adaroma technical challenges kakre bi. Yes of cry nche. Ye kwede na Halifax ansado. Ene abadwafo no the best entertainment. Ena eto yeso kopim se premo beto ne yakofa news from peace. Yadamu na mas ama monitie. Na emra ye kwei na memfa aseda kese ema gomua odumase oyen kese ene nana mpenimfo nyina no akire se Isaac Akwesi Newton, my dearly beloved late father yabusia amu ogumu odumase abusia mpenimfo nyina ne mo amuka ebe mu na mo se a ejina ewo gomua odumase eyire as Isaac Akwesi Newton eja ne kire one ne mayina yadamase pa na wotwe wieye ya wada fiada memene da empo enra ye ba ye se de moje ye feso mo chechire ye wure kan kranse ne abutoye mu nsem de kire yen na biyo obo aye man hyehyɛ ye ne ntotoe bi e wose ye bia no ni na ye bɔkɔ jo megina eyire ene emma dama ya wakanen ma benyin megina mu ina na mu edamase papa damase ya minshram for your support. Ya from Chief Captain Field Marshal OHENENANA KWAME AMOH, on behalf of Dr. Father Dixon, Lawyer Kennedy Asanto say Isaac Kwame Usi Diomi, Abigail Ashley, woman of faith, Ejari Arafat, and the entire production team. We say thank you very much for being part of the program. Yedi CD, Yami Aduma, Yawono, Ochina, Anopa, after the news from peace. May your day be blessed, may your day be fruitful and productive. Bye-bye.
Let them know say we did firebone. Menewa erade. Menewa minyame. Menewa erade. Ade Akye Abia o. Kumo minimsa ukoso shesha. Kumo enyedana ubechecha. Kumo na minimsa obi abenya ne dia kejagum manijingum kumo ejana so kumo ejana so kumo sayabana ejana so kumo ejana so Ade Akye Abia o kumo minimsa ukuso shesha kumo enyadana ubachecha kumo na minimsa obi abenya ne dia kengagum manijingum kumo ejana so kumo ejana so kumo sayabana ejana so